Hello everyone, I'm Travis, and let's get wanderlost. In this video, we're going to go over all the food options that are available on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. As with all of Royal Caribbean ships, there are several options for complimentary dining, which means it's included, and specialty dining, which is available for an additional cost. So we're going to go through each one of the venues, tell you a little bit about them, and let you know if they're worth trying or not. Let's start off with all the included or complimentary dining options. All of the included or complimentary dining options are included with your cruise fare, and you can go as many times as you like. The first venue we'll talk about is one of the more popular venues aboard Icon of the Seas, and it's the main dining room. The main dining room is open for breakfast and dinner on every night of your cruise, and lunch on sea days. There are two different options for the main dining room for dinner. The first being traditional dining, which means you have the same table, same waiter, and same time each night of your cruise. The other being my time dining, which is more flexible, where you can make your own reservations or just show up during the dinner hours, and you can be seated then. Nicole and I like my time dining because it gives us the flexibility to go to different shows at different times on different days of our cruise without being set to one time. Some other people may like traditional timing because it's predictable and you'll have the same table and same waiter every night of your cruise. There are several different nights and themes for each night of your cruise in the main dining room. They range from Caribbean night, Mexican night, to just your basic Bon Voyage and Welcome Aboard menus. The food in the main dining room is very traditional for a cruise ship. Make sure you try the prime rib. The next venue we'll talk about is also one of the more popular venues aboard Icon of the Seas, and it's the Windjammer Marketplace. The Windjammer Marketplace is the buffet aboard Icon of the Seas, and this place is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for each night of your cruise. The Windjammer also has themed nights, which is very similar to what they do in the main dining room, but there's always a different option if you're not into those themes. The Windjammer on Icon of the Seas is one of the largest in the entire Royal Caribbean fleet, but it does get very busy if you go during peak hours. Nicole and I like to go either before, like right when it's opening, or right when it's closing to kind of avoid some of the crowds. Make sure you go to the Windjammer on embarkation day. They have lobster, crab, and shrimp, and of course filet mignon available. Let's move over to the Royal Promenade and we can talk about the pizza place aboard Icon of the Seas, which is Sorrento's Pizza. Sorrento's Pizza is open for lunch and dinner, and it's actually open really late until about 2 o'clock in the morning. We love to go to Sorrento's after some of those late night shows or parties to make sure we have a snack before bed. Now let's talk about one of the newest venues aboard Icon of the Seas, and it's the Aquadome Market. The Aquadome Market is essentially Icon of the Seas' version of a food hall. The Aquadome Market is open for lunch and dinner, and actually offers several different types of food in little kiosks, everything from crepes, to mac and cheese, to sandwiches, to Greek bowls, and of course, Asian bowls. The Aquadome Market is a great place to go to kind of avoid some of the crowds in the Windjammer and main dining room and other venues on the ship. Nicole and I like to go there for lunch around 11 o'clock in the morning, and Nicole really loves the Greek bowls that are available there. Make sure you try one of their crepes, they're excellent as well. We're going to head over to Central Park for their complimentary dining option, which is Park Cafe. The Park Cafe is open for both breakfast and lunch, and it closes around 5:30 p.m. At the Park Cafe, you usually have a salad bar and a sandwich station, and for breakfast, you have breakfast sandwiches and pastries. The Park Cafe is also where you can get Royal Caribbean's version of the beef on wax sandwich. It's not as good as one you would actually get from the city of Buffalo, but it'll do. Next up, we also have a brand new venue that debuted on Icon of the Seas, and it's right behind the gigantic Pearl on the Royal Promenade, and it's the Pearl Cafe. The Pearl Cafe is the main coffee bar aboard Icon of the Seas, and it's also a place where you can get sandwiches, snacks, desserts, and other little things to eat. At the Park Cafe, we really enjoyed the muffalata sandwich and the Oreo cupcake. I love the view of the ocean from the Park Cafe. It's so nice that they put these gigantic windows right there on the promenade. Next up, let's go up to Thrill Island and we'll look at Base Camp. Base Camp is another complimentary dining option that serves smash burgers, pretzel bites, tater tots, and chicken strips. The food at Base Camp for us wasn't as good as some of the other venues on board, except the smash burger was actually pretty good, and of course the tater tots were excellent. Base Camp is a perfect spot to go after those water slides and you just want a quick bite to eat before heading to your next show. Make sure you say hi to Marty for us, that bird is awesome. Now let's head down to the Surfside where we'll try two different complimentary dining options. Both of these are brand new to Royal Caribbean and made their debuts on Icon of the Seas just like the Pearl Cafe did. The first one is Surfside Bites. This is a quick serve counter restaurant. Surfside Bites specializes in hot dogs, hamburgers, and french fries. They also have a pizza toasty, which Nicole and I actually really liked. It's like a Sorrento's pizza, but made in a toaster. It was actually really good. They also have one of the best cookies on board, which is their sprinkle cookie. Nicole absolutely loved it. Now let's talk about the other complimentary restaurant on Surfside, which is the Surfside Eery. And this is like a second buffet on Icon of the Seas, and it's kind of leaned towards the kids. And it has themed food. When we ate at Surfside Eery, the food was pirate themed. So instead of it being a chicken skewer, it was a pirate sword. And they had other options there that were also pirate themed, and they were actually set up to make them look like different aspects of a pirate ship. It's a really good place to go when you want some fun food for your kids. And I'll be honest, the food there was actually pretty good, and I'm an adult, so your kids should love it. We're going to go back up to the pool deck and we'll talk about El Loco Fresh. If you don't know what El Loco Fresh is, it's one of Royal Caribbean's staple food venues. It's on most of all the new ships and some of the ships that they've remodeled. It specializes in Mexican food, mostly burritos, tacos, and nachos. And you can get quesadillas there as well. When we eat here, I like to get a couple tacos and a burrito. Nicole will make a big pile of nachos. Overall, you can't really go wrong with El Loco Fresh. It's the perfect stop when you're at the pool. If you're a suite guest, one of your benefits is to go to the complimentary dining restaurant called Coastal Kitchen. Coastal Kitchen is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for suite guests and Pinnacle members. But if you are in a C-class suite, which is usually a junior suite, you can only go there for dinner if there's room. Coastal Kitchen is set up to be more Mediterranean style with its food, but it's basically an upscale main dining room. Nicole and I ate in Coastal Kitchen every night of our cruise, and we really enjoy this restaurant. Make sure you go on night 1. It's filet mignon night, and that's my favorite. The view of the Aquadome from Coastal Kitchen is also really cool. They closed the curtains during the Aqua Theater show, but you can still see some of the cool stuff that's going on in there. Another benefit if you're a suite guest is the Grove, which is a sun deck up at the very top of the ship, but there's also snacks in there. With our suite status, which we were C-class, we did not get access to the Grove. You have to be in a Sky class or higher suite to get in there. If you're diamond status or above with Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor Society, there is the Crown Lounge, which has complimentary drinks and snacks. Room service is available on Icon of the Seas, and depending on what type of room service you get determines if it's included or if there's a fee. So continental breakfast, which is your basic breakfast, so pastries, coffee, that sort of thing, fresh fruit, is included with your cruise fare, and you just put your tag on the door the night before, and then they bring it to you that next morning. If you want actual food from room service, there is a service charge, but then the food after that is included. Nicole and I will like to have breakfast on our balcony on these cruises, and so we get the continental breakfast option and have that delivered to the room, and then we just watch the sunrise on our balcony while eating a really good pastry or some fruit. Now let's talk about some of the specialty dining options aboard Icon of the Seas. Specialty dining requires an additional fee or a dining package in order to go to these restaurants. The prices can range anywhere from a prefix menu that starts around $30 or all the way up to some of the more expensive restaurants like Celebration Table, which can be upwards of $1,000 for a meal. There are several different dining packages available through Royal Caribbean, everything from a single restaurant to 3 restaurants, or the ultimate dining package, which allows you to go to any restaurant you want, but there are some fees with that you'll have to look up, like with Empire's Supper Club. The first specialty dining restaurant that we'll talk about is over in the Aquadome, and it's Hooked Seafood. Hooked Seafood obviously specializes in seafood. We really like the lobster and the captain's platter from this restaurant. They're both very good. Also inside Hooked Seafood, which we don't have any video of, and I apologize for that, is Celebration Table and Chef's Table. Both of those are special dining events that happen on your cruise that you can actually partake in, and they're supposed to be very, very good. Unfortunately, Nicole and I have never tried either one of those, but we'll leave a link in the description to Royal Caribbean's website that describes what they are. Next up, we have Chops Grill. Chops Grill is the steakhouse aboard Icon of the Seas, and it's a staple of Royal Caribbean's specialty dining program, and it is on almost every single Royal Caribbean ship. When we go to Chops Grill, we really love the ribeye, and Nicole loves the filet. They have some really good sides, and of course, the chocolate lava cake is a favorite of Nicole's. Also in Central Park is one of Nicole and I's favorite specialty dining restaurants, and that's Zumi Sushi and Hibachi. This is where you can obviously get some sushi or hibachi. Make sure you try the Fudumaki roll. And on Icon of the Seas, they also have a walk-up window where you can actually order sushi to go, and those bubble waffles we've heard so many great things about. We highly recommend Zumi for a specialty dining restaurant to try. We've always had a good experience no matter what ship we've been on when we've tried this restaurant. And if you're looking for Italian food on your Caribbean cruise, you're in luck, because Giovanni's Italian Kitchen is on the Royal Promenade. Giovanni's Italian Kitchen obviously specializes in Italian food, and it has a rustic, homemade charm to it that makes it really, really good. Nicole and I love Giovanni's Italian Kitchen. Make sure you try the burrata and the lasagna. They're both excellent. Just make sure you're prepared for the carb coma afterwards, because it's a lot of food and you'll want to take a nap. Next up, we'll walk towards the ice skating rink aboard Icon of the Seas, which is known as Absolute Zero. And to get there, we're going to go through Playmakers, Sports Bar, and Arcade. Playmakers is obviously the sports bar aboard Icon of the Seas, and this is where you can go to catch the game that you're missing because you're on vacation. Nicole and I love to go to Playmakers. We've been to it a few times already, and aboard Icon of the Seas, you have to try the spicy chicken sandwich. We tried it, and it was incredible. One of the best spicy chicken sandwiches that we've had at any restaurant anywhere, and the fries that come with it, which are waffle fries, are just as good. If you're looking to not miss the big game aboard your Royal Caribbean cruise, make sure you head over to Playmakers, have some good food, a good drink, and watch the game on one of their mini televisions. Now we head over to Surfside, which has another unique venue to Icon of the Seas, and that's Pier 7. Pier 7 is a specialty dining restaurant that is made for children and families, and it has more of a California surfer type menu to it. So make sure you check it out on your cruise. We heard the food is good, and there wasn't very many people there because not a lot of people know about it. Most people are going to the restaurants that they've heard of, like Chops, Hooked, and Giovanni's. Now let's talk about one of my absolute favorite dining experiences aboard Icon of the Seas, and that's Empire Supper Club. This is a brand new specialty restaurant that Royal Caribbean debuted on Icon of the Seas, and it blends excellent fine dining with amazing music in an intimate environment. Nicole and I went to Empire Supper Club for our anniversary, and we just absolutely loved it. It's 8 courses with 7 drinks, and that jazz band just plays the best type of music. Make sure you check out our video on Empire Supper Club. I'll link that in the description as well. Now, the last specialty dining restaurant that we'll talk about isn't really dining. I didn't know if this would be considered a bar or if it would be considered a restaurant, but it's Deserted Milkshake Bar. And I'm including in it with the food because I guess ice cream and milkshakes are food. But this is a restaurant where you can get a really unique and different style of milkshake. They are not included in your drink packages or your dining packages. So you do have to pay a la carte with this. So make sure you check it out. It's up in Thrill Island, next to the water slides and right before base camp. And the last thing that I'll talk about is another one of those I didn't know if I should include it or not, but I'm going to. It's the Vitality Cafe, and it's located in the Vitality at Sea Spa and Fitness Center. And this is a place where you can get smoothies, which I'm not sure if a smoothie is considered food or a drink, but this is where you get them at. It's also where you can get juices and your specialty coffee if you're looking for a second spot to get specialty coffee on board your cruise. Aboard Icon of the Seas. So there you have it. That's all of the food and dining options aboard Icon of the Seas. We went through all of the included or complimentary dining venues along with all of the specialty dining options that are available aboard this incredible cruise ship. If you have any questions about the dining venues or the dining experiences on Icon of the Seas, make sure you leave those in the comments section below. If you'd like to support our channel, make sure you click like on this video and subscribe. It helps us out way more than you realize. If you need us, we'll be up in the Windjammer. I'm Travis. Thanks so much for watching.